everyone, it's Misty here. Thank you so much for joining me. Before we get into this video, please do not cancel me. I wanted to share with you guys my kind of opinion on brands I feel like that are overrated as far as their eyeshadow formula, and brands I think you need to put your eyes on as far as eyeshadow formula. Now, eyeshadow is very specific to people, so you may or may not agree with me, and that's okay. That's why I said don't cancel me. Like, these are just my opinions based on what I've tried and what I've seen. And yeah, it's not meant to judge anybody or be rude or be mean, send hate, anything like that. It's just done in fun. It's just done in jest. And since I've panned so many eyeshadows last year, I thought it would be fun for me to give you my opinion, whether you want it or not. So, if you've been with me for any length of time, you're probably going to know what the first overrated brand is. Say it with me. 1, 2, 3. Nomad Cosmetics. If you said it, you got it right. Now, let me say, Nomad's color stories are fantastic. Listen, they've almost got me with the last 2 or 3 palettes that they've put out, especially this New Zealand one. Like so pretty, but I hate the matte formula. Like, I don't just dislike it, I hate it. I believe I've tried 5 of their palettes and I didn't like the formula in any of them. I don't find the mattes to be easy to blend. I find them to be dry, or they're like satins and they're not mattes, and their shimmers are just okay. Like, they're not super creamy, they're not super impactful. Now, the ones in this latest palette are multi-chrome, so maybe they are. But I tried the Iceland palette, I tried the Gnome, is that the Gnome palette? I don't remember. The one that had the little gnome on it. I tried the Tokyo palette, I tried the Cartagena Mexica palette, I tried the Paradise palette. Like, I've tried so many of their palettes and their formula just doesn't do it for me. And I don't understand. I just don't understand the hype. Like, everybody who gets PR just goes on and on and on about that formula. And I'm just like, I don't understand how you can like that formula and like a different formula that's much better. Or, you know what I mean? So Nomad is just not the formula for me, which again makes me sad because their color stories are out of this world, but I know their formula is just not for me. Now, if that changes, if one of you who doesn't like the formula, like you're on my side of things, if you happen to try it and you think the formula has changed, let me know. I'd be happy to try them again. Not at full price, probably something off from Macari, but as it stands right now, I just don't get the hype. For one that's underrated, I think Luxie is one that's underrated, and I talked about them in my Pan That Palette video. I don't know how she does it, but she prices her eyeshadows at about $3 a piece. They're shimmery and gorgeous. They are shifty. Like, they are so pretty. Let me pull out a palette. I have worked on several of them. I don't know. They're just so stinking pretty. Is this one? No, this one is though. I mean, they're just so pretty. They're so pretty for what they are. And I just, I mean, $2.50 or $3, I think is a fantastic price for this formula. Now, I haven't tried any mattes. I don't even know if she does mattes. Or if it's even a she. They have such a beautiful, lovely, creamy, buildable formula. And I really love it. And again, they're like, the other day, Jessica, I don't remember what, maybe it was her Decapani video, don't remember. She had this beautiful, shifty purple shade on her lid. And it was one of the ones that she picked up from Luxie recently. And I just think that they're worth a second look. So if you haven't checked them out already, 10 out of 10 would recommend. My next overrated would be Bella Beauty Bar. Now, let me preface this by saying I had a horrible experience with their customer service. I don't know if it's just the owner handling things over there or what, but I picked up that pastel palette. I don't remember what it's called. And they already have like a 4-week lead time. I was like, okay, I can wait. And this was for my birthday. 2 weeks after it shipped, I still didn't have it. Or maybe it was like 4 or 5 days. Anyway, it took 2 extra weeks to get it because the owner kept saying, no, it shipped and it didn't, and dealing with root and all of it. And I finally said, can you just refund me? Can I just get a refund? Because she asked me if I wanted a refund or if I wanted the palette, and I wanted to try the formula. So I said I wanted the palette. And then 4 days later, I was like, you know what, let me just get a refund. And oh my gosh, it shipped that day. So yeah, the customer service experience was dumb, but I didn't like the formula. Like, those mattes were thin. Now, what I mean by thin is they're super dry. You swipe it and you barely see any pigment, especially the mattes. The shimmers were all right, but the mattes were just non-existent. There was probably maybe 3 mattes in that entire palette that I felt were actually good mattes and ones that I would use going forward. But that was it. And the shimmer formula is that kind of really flaky shimmer formula, which again is not like, I don't mind that whatsoever, but I just don't get the hype of the formula. And they're about to release a purple palette, and a part of me is like, Misty, maybe you should try them again. You know, maybe it'll be better customer service, etc. And then the other part of me is like, I don't want to try them again because I already know that I don't like the formula. So, you know, maybe I'll change my mind. Like, this is just my opinion as of January, whatever, today, 2024. So maybe I'll change my mind, but that customer service experience left a really bad taste in my mouth. And then for the palette to just not perform up to standard, it was just really disappointing. So, geez. Next, for underrated, is MBA Cosmetics. They are fairly new. I don't know. I don't think she private labels. I'm not sure. So I picked up their OK Bloomer set, and I hit pan in every single one of these. These are gorgeous, you guys. And these, I think she just calls duochrome. To me, they a little bit more multi-chrome than that. But they're beautiful. They're creamy. Now, I can't speak on her matte formula. Like, I haven't bought a palette from her. I do have a couple on my list because I'm interested in trying them, but the shimmer formula is lovely. I really do like it. I think that, you know, I'm willing to give their mattes a try, but the shimmers are beautiful. Now, I've only tried like 8 of their shimmers, so I can't comment on anything else. But I definitely think it's a company to put on your radar if you're looking to try new eyeshadow in 2024. Friends, let me introduce you to the greatness that is MBA Cosmetics. Beautiful. I'm wearing these 2 blues. As you can see, I've been hitting pan. These are gorgeous. Her shadows are, their shadows, I should say. I don't know their pronouns, but they're so sparkly. They're so sparkly. Next overrated is Lethal. I hate to say that because I own so many Lethal shimmers. I think it was Lainey that said that she didn't love the Lethal formula, and maybe I'm putting words in her mouth and it was someone else. I don't remember. So I picked up a ton of singles from Lethal. I'm talking like 15, 20 singles from Lethal. Why? I don't know. Don't ask me. I just do that. And one of them was like a multi-chrome from them. And they're okay. They're just okay. They're not impactful. They're not, you know, and maybe they have special shades that are, but any of their regular kind of shimmers are just kind of meh to me. I should just leave this palette out. So I worked on a few last year, and like I said, they're all right. They're okay. They're not great. It's a little bit of a drier formula, and I don't know. I was going to buy one of their most recent palettes, but I was like, Misty, why? You know, if I'm not drawn in by their color story, and I'm like, I don't have any kind of desire to pick up anything from them. So, yeah, I just haven't been impressed by what I've picked up from them. Like I said, the shimmers are all right. You saw how they swatched. I used Proxima, which is like a multi-chrome, and it's thin. Like you have to build it up and build it up and build it up and build it up. They get hard pan really easily. So, I mean, I don't know that Lethal is quite as popular as it was maybe last year or the year before, but it's still a brand that I feel like is overrated and one that you can skip if you're a connoisseur of eyeshadow like me. I should have explained. So I like a very velvety kind of matte. I want a matte that is easily to blend out. I want a matte that feels really smooth and silky to the touch. I don't want a dry matte whatsoever. The ones from Give Me Glow are the worst. They remind me of like Morphe maybe. I don't even know who I would compare them to. Profusion has better mattes than that palette did. So I want something that's a bit more, not necessarily creamy, but it feels like velvet, or it feels like, you know, like suede or something like that. Just something that's very soft and just lovely. And I'll talk about my new favorite eyeshadow formula ever in this video. So stay tuned for that. So, where are we? Underrated. Okay, let's talk about Chaos. So Chaos is actually, don't quote me, but Lisa Eldridge put them on the map because a few years ago she did Carla Delevingne makeup, and she showed the shadow she used, and it was a beautiful multi-chrome that she picked up from Chaos Cosmetics. Now they are in Corpus Christi. It's a Latin-owned brand, and their shadows are gorgeous. Now they come in this clamshell, and she says don't take them out, or take them out. I don't want to. I think they do fine. This one is Fairy Godmother. Oh, now I don't know. I haven't been keeping up. I don't know if they've released more or not, but oh, they're so pretty. They're so pretty. They do offer sales every now and again. Shipping's not that bad, but I really think they were one of the few that started the kind of on that multi-chrome kind of train. At least that's how I was introduced to them, and I don't hear enough people talking about them. The shifts are amazing. They have some of the ones that you always seen, like the one that goes from red to green and etc., pink to green, etc. So they do have some that we've seen before, but they do have some that are just flippin' gorgeous, and I absolutely love the formula. I think it's beautiful. It blends easily. Not blends, it goes down easily. You can build it if you want to. You can sheer it out if you want to. It's beautiful on a matte. It's beautiful on its own. I absolutely love them. I think I have 6 or 7. The only thing that gets me about them is the price. They're over $20, but that's basically what you're paying for multi-chromes these days. So yeah. So yeah, Chaos Cosmetics. Now I'll try to have everybody linked in the description box down below, but you guys know I'm awful at that. So hopefully Editing Misty will remember that I said that. Misty, remember. Okay, so I have a few more overrated than underrated. So, and the next one is Unearthly. I picked up the Summer Mystery Box, and I did one eye look, and I was like, nope. No, thank you. I don't understand why Angie raves about that formula. Now, if you've tried other palettes and you think it's great, I don't know what it was about that one, but the mattes were patchy. They were patchy and somewhat dry. And as I mentioned, I don't like a dry matte. Like I know Alex is this type of person, and a lot of people are, that they can pretty much work with anything. I probably could, but I don't want to. Like, I don't want to have to pay, I mean, like $75 for something and then have to put in extra work to make it look good. Like, if I'm going to put that kind of investment in, I want it to work, and I want it to work immediately. I don't want to have to put anything into it at all. So I really think that I just don't like her formula. I did keep the lip balm and the lipstick, which I actually do like. Not lip balm, it's lip gloss. And I think the component is really cute. But that eyeshadow palette was not it. Not it. And I'm glad I was able to sell it. But yeah, I don't know. And then there are a couple, and this is supposed to be a better formula for them and for Bella Beauté Bar. And I'm just like, whoo, I don't want to see the other formula because Lord have mercy on my soul. I just don't get it. I just don't get it. I don't get it whatsoever. And along that same breath is Adept. Tell me why those shimmers were like Vaseline on my eyeballs. And the mattes just didn't perform at all. Like at all. And her palettes are stupid expensive. Like over $100. And I was just like, so disappointed. So disappointed. Now, I didn't film a video or anything about it. I just went ahead and put it back up for sale on Mercari. Did I do a video? I don't think I did a video. But it, again, just like the shimmers were like Vaseline. And they were thin. They didn't build up well. They didn't dry down. It was just the weirdest thing ever. And again, her eyeshadow palettes are stupid expensive. But someone said that's their favorite shimmer formula. And I'm like, did I get a bad palette? Because honey. No way, Jose. No way, Jose. I don't believe it at all. So yeah, and I just, you know, her palettes are so stinking expensive. It's not like I would be interested in trying anything else. So yeah, I was so disappointed because I was so excited to try them because they're so talked about and everyone talked about how great their shimmers are, and I just don't get it. I just don't get it. I just don't get it. I have 3 more and I have 2 more of the underrated. So let's talk about another underrated. Cosmic brushes. I panned this palette. This is their Serenity palette. I panned this palette in Project Level Up last year, I think level 3. So I used every shade at least 3 times and panned some of their mattes. And oh my God, this formula is so good. It's so pigmented. They are velvety smooth. They build up easily. They blend easily. They're so good. The shimmers are really pretty and impactful. I was wearing, oh no. Missy, why'd you swatch out blue? That was dumb. I was working on a green shimmer and I think panned those eyeshadows last year before I abandoned ship. And it is gorgeous. Hold on, let me get this blue off my hands. That was dumb. That was real dumb. That was real dumb, Misty. I just really like it. And I haven't picked up, I have the pastel palette, but I haven't picked up the Goth palette and the Winter palette. That Winter palette is me in an eyeshadow palette, let me tell you. So yeah, but, oh my word. They're so they're so smooth and so pretty and they blend so nicely. And this matte formula is just next level. This is the second best matte formula that I tried last year. I think, like, I don't know if she's white labeling or if this is her formula, but it's good. And now I listened to a couple of people talk about how they thought Cosmic Brushes was overrated, but they love Nomad. And I'm like, no. I firmly disagree. I respectfully disagree with that assessment. I think Cosmic Brushes definitely has the better formula. And they are in England, maybe. They're over in EU. So if you are international, it's a really good brand at a really good price. I mean, her eyeshadow palettes are like $20 a piece. And they are good. Like, they have my stamp of approval. This will be a brand that I will try to collect every palette from. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. I want Cosmic Brushes for every holiday of my life. So they will definitely be a add to my collection kind of brand for me. Unless they change the formula, and then I will cry. Literally on camera with you. Let's talk about another overrated. I have a few more. I hate to say this, but Sydney Grace. Sydney Grace. Sydney Grace. I have 50 singles. I bought a Christmas in July box a few years ago because I was so excited to try them because everybody goes on and on about them. And again, it's okay. It's okay. And I guess maybe I need to lower my standards, but for me, if it's an indie makeup company, I expect to have better formulas than something I can buy off the shelf in like Ulta, etc. To me, Sydney Grace shadows aren't any better than like their Revolution ones and like one of their Forever palettes that are in the 10s. Color me not impressed. And the shimmers aren't impactful at all, really. There's just not anything that sets them apart, and her color stories are redundant and boring. Sorry, I said it. She reminds me of ColourPop when ColourPop gets into their neutral era, where it's just like, it's all of these neutral palettes that basically have the same shades in them, and they all turn out the exact same way. And so I don't know. I think her Christmas in July sale is banging. And if you want to try the brand, that's when I recommend you do it. I know a couple of people love them, but I just don't get the hype. I do not get the hype. I have some for sale. If you're interested in trying them, I will sell them to you. You can message me. But yeah, they're just okay. They're just okay. And honestly, to me, I would pick Nomad over Sydney Grace because at least Nomad has really fun, adventurous color stories. And I know not everybody is fun and adventurous, like doesn't want loud and out there makeup. They're okay with something a bit more subtle and, you know, neutral, and that's cool, but I'm not. So those palettes don't appeal to me at all. And like I said, I just don't get the hype on the shimmers and stuff. I just don't think they're impactful. So 2 more overrated. One of them was overrated, but now I feel like the hype is real. The hype is real. And then another one that's probably going to get me canceled. So let's talk about that one, Natasha Denona. I hate that formula. Again, it's another type of formula that I do not get the hype for just how flippin' expensive they are. I hate, like the cream to matte, like I got the retro palette. I tried the Zendo palette. I had the mini Lila palette. I've tried 3 or 4 different palettes from her, and I just don't like the formula at all. I didn't like the face palette formula either. So that is when I just don't get the hype. I don't know if it's because, you know, it's bougie or what that people get so excited about. And she almost got me with that Yucca palette. I love that color story. I love the color story of her My Dream palette. But that formula is just not it for me. I just hate it. And all of the mattes, she doesn't have enough contrast between her mattes. I mean, several mattes and several of her palettes look the exact same. It's like, how about a bit more contrast? How about you mix it up a little bit? And watching people buy Natasha Denona palettes and then rearranging them with other palettes and stuff is just wild to me. And then the little palettes, it's like, okay, why are you repeating shades? And that was another thing. She has repeated shades. Now I know Glamlite does it. Glamlite is another story for a different day. Let me tell you. I don't know what the hell is going on over there with Betty Boop and Garfield and all the other stuff. I really wish they would stop with the licensing, but whatever. But yeah, so it's like, I don't know. I don't like that formula whatsoever. And I honestly just don't get the hype, because to me, if I'm going to pay $65, $70 for an eyeshadow palette, I want to love it. And let me talk to you about the one that I thought was overhyped, and now I feel like it's worth the hype, and that's Oden's Eye. Oden's Eye, however you spell it, pronounce it. I got that mystery box a couple years ago, and that was hot fire garbage. And I don't mean to offend anybody with that, but that formula was hot fire garbage. I had Profusion palettes that were better than those. Those palettes were just awful to me. Like, awful. Such a pretty color story, and the mattes were just so flippin' dry, and the shimmers were very thin and more like toppers, and I couldn't get them to build up. I mean, talk about disappointed. I was disappointed. So I was perusing on Mercari one time, like you do, and I found the Hella palette that is Angelica Nyquist, and I heard whispers that they had changed their formula, and I thought, okay, I found this at a good price. I think it was like $25, maybe $30, brand new. I said, let me try this and we'll see, and I liked it. And I was working on the Batty Bean, this palette, which I think is fantastic. I'm about to pan the Solomane for pan those eyeshadows, this reformulation, which I think is fantastic. So I definitely think that they are now worth the hype, whereas before I was like, honey. Now I've heard mixed reactions about those Christmas palettes that they released this year. I can't speak to that. Like, I haven't purchased anything else from them because I have a new favorite and all of my money is going to go to them. So yeah. But yeah, I just can't. I just can't with them, guys. So last year I tried 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 different eyeshadow formulas. 2 from Inslee Rain, 4 from Cosmic Brushes, 5 from Udens Eye, and then a few, like I had the Natasha Denona Retro palette last year. Oh, Blend Bunny. I don't think she's overrated. Is she overrated? No, I mean, I don't know. Her palettes are good, but not great. Not my favorite. So anyway, so yeah, I tried Give Me Glow. That Butterfly palette is the worst palette I've ever used in my life of lives. I don't know what she was thinking. The mattes in the Two Moods palette are blendable and smooth and gorgeous, and I love them. And the other mattes are dry AF. And if you saw that video of that Butterfly palette, you saw just how stupid patchy the browns were. And neutral colors are the easiest to create. I don't know what she was thinking. Plus it was small. I mean, like, that was the worst purchase of 2023 for me. I tried the Divina. I tried Divina for the first time. Was that last year? I was like, I don't know about this, but now I like it. I'm painting one in A to Z. Fantasy Cosmetica, that one's fine. It's fine. Their color stories are just not for me. And plus, I don't know. I feel like I want at least 12 pans if we're going to do an eyeshadow palette that has, you know, a really nice color story that I can work with. So yeah, so those are my overrated, underrated palette companies. Now, Cosmic Brushes is the second best formula I tried in 2023. The first best formula I tried in 2023 is Inslee Rain. Holy Moses, it's what's on my eyeballs today. I started with the Strawberry Moon palette, and I thought, let me pick this up because the color story kept calling to me. Look at this, you guys. Look at it. And I'll try to remember to insert some picture, because I did film a reel using this eyeshadow palette, and I've used it since. I'm painting this shade right here. It's on the inner corner. This is beautiful. And these mattes are the best mattes I've ever tried in my life. These put Glamlite to shame. Glamlite has been dethroned. There's something about this matte formula. She posted yesterday or the day before yesterday, maybe earlier this month, I don't remember. But she talked about how in the beginning she was white labeled. But now this is her formula. And it's good. Like, it is so good. And like I said, her palettes are expensive, but look at this whole roll of multichromes that you get. And then you get shimmers, and these mattes are just so yummy. There I do blue. Oh my God. I'm in love. This is the first time I've worn makeup in weeks. And this Strawberry Moon palette from Inslee Rain is worth every flippin' penny. It's a little spendy, but it's worth it. Ugh, this one already has a dent in it because I used it so much because I love it. They're just, ugh. Now I don't have all of them and I don't know that I will get all of them. That's swatched horribly, Misty. It's blue on my hands, so I'm not going to bother. But this, I'm not kidding you guys. I know she's expensive, but if you have, now I haven't tried the Mad Hatter Alice in Wonderland release. I didn't get the Harvest Moon. I've gone back and forth on that palette. But you guys know I don't wear a whole lot of neutrals. And I picked up this one because it's cool tone neutrals. And this is a palette that I have already gotten a ton of use out of too. So her palettes are now magnetic. And they've been coming in these kind of square pans. I don't know if, let me see. So the last two palettes, the Cold Moon one and this one, have come in these really pretty kind of PR boxes, so to speak. And then they are like, you cannot get a more secure palette. So they come like this. And then this one, it just pops out. So this is the Lands of Enchantment. This is her kind of pastel palette. So let me pull off the sleeve. Oh, it's so beautiful. So beautiful. Now, I don't know if you can see this right here. See this metal thing? That's a sticker. So when you get your palette, you have to break this sticker to open it. And I love that. I think that's such a cool idea. And this, oh my God. Oh my God. I haven't played with this one yet. I was trying to save it to be pristine so you guys can see it. So I think she's going back and forth between the round pans and the square pans, but she may have moved to the square pans now. Like I said, I haven't been on Instagram. I haven't really been following along. But you guys, it's so pretty. So pretty. And these, oh my gosh, they're just so pretty. They're so pretty. And these mats, you guys, like these mats are the best mat. Like you cannot go wrong with these mats. You just can't. I mean, you just can't. You just can't go wrong with these mats. And like I said, I own the Land of Enchantment. I have the Strawberry Moon, and I have the Cold Moon. And the Cold Moon is just as pretty. That's what's on my lids today. I mean, they're just so pretty. And like I said, they're expensive. I think all three of these were like around $70 a piece, which is expensive. But again, you're getting like 6 or 7 multi-chromes. Well, when you think about it, multi-chromes are going anywhere from like $15 to $20. So I think it's a good deal. And I 10 out of 10 would recommend. And if you try it and you don't like it, don't tell me because it will hurt my feelings. Don't hurt my feelings, y'all. I mean, I don't love her artwork because it's definitely AI, and I have thoughts and feelings and opinions about using AI artwork. But the formula is just beyond, like beyond. This is what I expected Adept to be, and this is what I expected like Bella Beauté bar to be, because it's just such a really amazing formula. And it's just 10, like I said, I 10 out of 10 recommend. I know she's expensive, but if you don't want to spend that much money, Cosmic Brushes is almost just as good. There's just something in these mats that make the ones from Inslee Lorraine just a little bit better in my opinion. And again, 10 out of 10 would recommend. I know she said she does singles and stuff in-house, but this is made at her, wherever she manufactures them. And again, 10 out of 10. Now, I do wish, while I love the packaging, I love that it comes protected, I do wish we would just not do that. Those boxes are expensive. If you watch Marlena's video about it, those boxes are expensive. And I would much rather pay, you know, a little bit less and get a little bit less fancy packaging for still the same great formula. But I do also appreciate that it came protected and I didn't have to worry about it being broken. And again, I love the security seal. I don't know if other brands are doing that, but I think that's genius. I really do like that idea. So yeah, so that's my I'm going to cancel myself video. And again, this is not meant to, if these are companies that you love, at the end of the day, eyeshadow, to me, eyeshadow is just as personal as mascara is. We all love what we like, or love what we love, and like what we like. And if you like any of these and I don't, that's cool. And like I said, I am not someone who wants to fuss around with the formula. I want it to work straight out of the bat. And I have very specific criteria for how I want my mattes and stuff to feel. And like, if we're doing top three, Inslee Lorraine's #1, Cosmic Brushes #2, and #3 would be between Glamlite and Uden's Eye as far as mattes. And if Give Me Glow would just put the matte formula from Two Moods into her newer palette, I think she would be way more successful. But yeah, that's it. Now, I didn't talk about Clionadh or Terra Moons or anything like that because the hype is real with those. Now, I don't mess with Terra Moons anymore after that incident that happened last year with that creator or whatever. So I couldn't tell you, but I have the Dragon Fruit palette and I love it. I think it's gorgeous. I think they're coming out with mattes now. I don't know. Again, I haven't been on Instagram, so I haven't wanted to shop, and that's why. But yeah, I just really love these palettes, and I'm definitely going to be a collector as much as I can. And if I just have to wait for Black Friday, the only other thing, 18 to 20 days. And she does like 6-week pre-orders for some, and I'm just like, Lord have mercy on my soul. So you're not going to get it in a couple of days, but they're well worth the wait. And like I said, when I first got that Strawberry Moon palette, I probably did 5 or 6 looks in a row using that one palette. And you guys know that's not like me. I like to play around in other things, but I could probably use that Strawberry Moon palette 4 or 5 times a week and not get tired of it because I just love the color so much. So that's it. This was a lot of talky. I hope you enjoyed it. Like I said, don't cancel me. We like what we like. And if you are someone who has similar taste in eyeshadow and you haven't tried Inslee Rain or Cosmic Brushes, like I said, give it a try. Cosmic Brushes is way less expensive. And their color stories are gorgeous. Like I said, I want that winter palette. I want that goth palette. I mean, come on, it's purple. You guys know me. I love me some purple. Love me some berry. Anyway, that's it. Thank you so much for joining me today, friends. Let me know if you agree or disagree with my opinions. Are there other brands that I haven't talked about that you feel are overrated or underrated? If there's a brand you think I need to try that I haven't yet, feel free to leave that in the comments down below. I am interested in trying new eyeshadow all the time. So if you think I will like it and I can put it in my eyeshadow bank budget, then I may pick it up. But yeah, that's it. That video is coming before or after this one. I don't know. I'm filming them all on the same day. So anyway, that's it. Thank you so much for joining me today. I really do appreciate you. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing. What else do I normally say? I'd say follow me on Instagram, but again, I haven't been over there. I need to decide what I'm going to do about Instagram. I keep saying that and I need to make a decision and I haven't yet. But other than that, I hope you have a good day, night, week, wherever you are. I love your faces. I'll see you in my next video. Bye for now.